August 4th, 2025. Today, it wasn't a super interesting day for the 3 bar micro channel, at least the way that I personally trade it. I'm sure some traders had a fun or an interesting day today. Um, but it goes to show the power of the symmetrical second leg. You can see the low of bar 1 to the close of bar 7. That's the end of leg 1. So you have a spike in a channel. In the channel, you can see that's the high tick. And since the market is fractal on some time frame, this is just a 3 bar micro channel. The size of whatever this spike is a 3 bar micro channel. And you get a 3 bar micro channel here. And let's see, do you get the symmetrical second leg of the 3 bar micro channel? Of course you do. It would be measured from, well, it would technically be measured from this low if we were to do it the way that I like to actually trade it. But since this was a pullback, I'm trying to demonstrate a point here, right? So technically on this time frame, we got close. We did not quite get the target that I would be going for. We got within a couple of ticks of it, but it just goes to show the power of the symmetrical second leg. It's really important. And so whenever you see a 3 bar micro channel, you just have to understand that the lower time frame is usually in some sort of channel. And as you're getting a channel up. Anyways, bars 1 through 3, really strong 3 bar micro channel for the bulls. I did not buy the close of 3. I do not trade before bar 7, but it's probably okay too. 7, an inside bar, probably going to test back to, we'll probably test the high of it since it is an inside bar, and we usually test inside bars. A large tail on the bottom indicating a pullback. 6 and 7 consecutive bull bars, but 6 or 7 consecutive bull bars in a row is usually going to lead to a pullback. As you can see on 8, we did pull back. And we started creating higher lows for basically the remainder of the day. We had 3 legs up from the initial spike. 16 was the third leg. And then we had 3 legs down to bar 27, wedge bottom 28, 29, 30. I did not like 21, by the way. I thought it was a really late leg for the bulls, so I thought it was better to stay out of 21. But I thought 30 was a good buy the close bar, and I did buy the close of 30. None of my scale-ins got filled. You can see we went sideways for 3 legs, sideways to up for 3 legs to 36, and then a reversal up on 37. Follow through 40 and 41, and then another leg up, a third leg up, 43, 44, 45. It's a very late leg. 42 might need a second piece. It's not really all that great for the bulls, but we might continue at least a little bit higher. And I was going to get out if 48 closed stronger. I was going to get out below it, but it did not close strong enough for me to exit. I would have exited below 50 if it did not 49 if it did not trade above 48. So the market was just kind of trapped me in a little bit, and I ended up exiting below 51. So my only trade of the day was I bought the close of 30 and I exited a tick below 51. So I ended up essentially break even on the day. However, that's okay. So let me just finish going through. 3 bar micro channel here, okay to take, but there was a higher time frame, like 6 bar micro channel. So I'm not going to trade against that type of micro channel. If you do sell, you do get a surprise against on 55, but you can scale in, get a symmetrical second leg, or you could take a half an hour as well. And then we obviously got a rally at the end of the day for the symmetrical second leg. But I do not trade past bar 65 since the probabilities get a little bit lower and there's just less time for the trade to work. So I try to just get out by bar 65. I try not to take trades after bar 65. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, I did take only 1 trade today for my trading system. This is a relatively boring day, but that's fine. There's a trade. There's usually 1 day per month, 1 to 2 days per month, but usually only 1 day per month where I get 1 trade and it's a pretty break even day. And that's okay with me because I know that if I continue to trade my system over the course of time, my system ends up, outperforming anything I'm going to do in the discretionary realm, especially right now. So basically, just 1 trade for me today, spike and channel day, and we got the symmetrical second leg of the opening move. If you do get, a strong spike on the open like we did, I would encourage you to see how often it gets a symmetrical second leg at some point during the day. Answer is probably, 64 to 70%, something in that area, because these do a lot of times get symmetrical second legs, but it will often happen like this towards the end of the day. And it's not really that tradable. It's hard to trade. It's hard to buy the close of bar 76 when you only have a couple bars left in the day, and 72 and 73 might need a second piece. And so it's just a difficult trade. That's all. But all right, that is going to be it. A little bit of a shorter video today. Just don't have as much to say, really. Like I said, it was a relatively boring day. I guess I'll go over the daily chart. We did test the low of this outside bar, which makes sense. There probably should have been sellers here. There probably should be sellers here. So if we don't gap, I would imagine we might go down at least a little bit tomorrow. We should test back to this high. It is a gap bar. We haven't been below the moving average since April. So not surprising that the first sell-off was bought up. But this is ultimately a decently strong move, and we should start to go more sideways here rather than just up. The weekly chart, a big outside down bar as well. This is an inside bar so far. We'll see what the week ends up being, but if it remains an inside bar, it's a high one. It's really not all that great after 4 or 5 legs up. So this is probably going to need a second leg. Last week's bar is probably going to need a second leg. So even if we go a little higher, I think we'll come back down and start to go more sideways. I still think we're probably going to test this breakout point. Seems likely to me. The bears would like to see this become a big bear bar and get follow through, but they obviously, after today, have a lot of work to do. And the monthly chart, we did end up getting a tail, but it's still a decent 3-bar micro channel. We have consecutive bull bars closing above the breakout point. I would imagine we will test this breakout point within 3 bars on this chart. So within a few months, we should test this breakout point. And it's still not impossible that we go test the high. I don't know if it'll happen this year. It probably won't happen this year. But I was surprised that we never tested the April high. This is just a bad buy signal bar. And so a lot of times when you get a good move starting with a bad buy signal bar, the market will come back to test the move. This whole move started with a pretty clean bar right here. This move started with a pretty clean bar right here. We do have a 3-bar micro channel here, but it's against a 5-bar micro channel, so it's really not all that good. So you can see a lot of the bull moves, clean bar, clean bar, clean bar. Not so clean, but, cleaner bar here, and then not really that great. So anyways, that's really it.